Brady's built an amazing, huge audience, but it's the question of whether you have an audience of buyers. And now it's how do we get those people in his audience? Because there's definitely buyers in there, but it's about sieving through to try and find the gold. I would rather have 5,000 followers of people that I know are perfect ICP and gonna buy from me than 500,000 followers of just fans. This man does not see himself as unhealthy. He sees himself as temporarily off track. When he says, I eat pretty healthy, my wife does the cooking, I do not have time to track. What he actually means is I do not want food to become another domain I have to micromanage. The man does not need more information, he needs containment. Now that's your job as a coach to say, hey, I know exactly where you've been and I can get you there. You are engineering belief for someone to believe, one, that they're capable, but also that your mechanism is capable of solving their problem. All right, I'm joined here by Ed and Brady. Say what's up, boys.
Okay, guys.
What's up?
Reason why I put them in a room together is because this is a really common and a great avatar to be targeting. And I just want to run through the process of how I think about it. And then by the end of this, we are going to understand exactly who we target. We're going to know how to speak to them in our content, and we're going to create an offer for them. Why this is so important is Ed and Brady are at completely different ends of the spectrum. Brady's built an amazing, huge audience. Ed's early on in the content career, fair to say.
Absolutely, mate.
Early days. So you've got like two different people who are at very differing parts of their journey. But what's really important to understand is I think Brady's built an amazing audience, but there's a lot of fans in there. There's a lot of people that look at Brady and go like, he's hot stuff, which he is, which is understandable. But it's the question of whether you have an audience of buyers. And now it's how do we get those people in his audience? Because there's definitely buyers in there, but it's about sieving through to try and find the gold. Now, I would argue Ed, who's coming in completely fresh, has a slight upper hand because he can just target those people from the outset. And he's going to go, hey, I don't want the people that, you know, think my rig's hot and things that. I'm actually just going to go after exactly my ICP. So we're going to go through the avatar, and the ICP stands for ideal client profile. And that's because you can have these accounts that have huge followings, but the ICP, the ideal client profile, is only a small fraction of that. And I would always rather have less followers. I would rather have 5,000 followers of people that I know are perfect ICP and going to buy from me than 500,000 followers of just fans. And that's because at the end of the day, if you're selling high ticket, 5,000 people is a lot of people buying your stuff, particularly when you're charging $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, which are the offers that we're going to build today. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, starting off. So what do we think, and this is the ideal clientele, what age would they come in at?
30 to 45.
Maybe
Fair?
something over tops 45.
Okay, 30 to 45. Perfect. Gender, I'm going to assume male.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Location, where are they based? Is it just the US for you, just Australia for you, or is it sort of any
UK,
English?
probably UK.
Oh, yeah, UK,
Split at the moment, but
Oz, we'll put US.
yeah,
Are we talking
Yeah.
like all English-speaking countries?
I'd say so. I'm over for worldwide
Yeah.
takeover.
Yeah, they have to speak English.
Speaking English is important. Okay, occupation. Are they working full-time?
Yeah.
Okay, epic. Full-time, and what type of job? Are they like corporate, collar, like white collar?
I'd say either corporate, they work for somebody, or they branched off and did their own thing. They started their own
Self-employed.
company, self-employed, but they're either run it or they're very high up in the company that they maybe started.
Fair avatar to target?
I'd say so.
I'd say it's good.
I'd say.
And what do you reckon the like median income is of this person as a bracket? Like 80,000, 100,000 a year?
No, I'd say over 200.
What do you reckon?
I was going to say lower than that.
With
for
inflation
sure. Probably 80 plus.
Especially if they have families, like they need to be comfortable. Like 100,000, like
Yeah.
not enough to be really comfortable with family, I think.
So I'd say what's great about this is you have an opportunity to like craft the ideal avatar. And again, like if we shoot for 200, we're not going to get everyone with 200. If we shoot for 200, we're going to get people around 120, 150, 180, 200. We're going to get some people past that. But always the way I think about income brackets, go for the highest. Because if you say C-suite executive, you're going to end up with a few managing directors. But that's a pretty good outcome, right? But if you say managing director, you're going to end up with a few managers. If you say managers, you're going to end up with a few just general people. And if you say, oh, it's just for employees, you're going to end up with like graduates and students. So like it always works one tier back. So I like having like 200K plus as a base, but obviously we know that realistically we're going to get some people around that as well. Okay, are these people married? Like relationship,
Yes.
family?
Not necessarily for me, I would say.
Okay, so I think that's reflective a little bit in age as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Brady's 38. Can I say on it? Age?
Yeah, of
38.
course. We're not hiding it. We're rocking it.
And how old are you?
Just turned 30.
Just turned 30. Okay, so like could be married. Maybe there are some single out there,
If they're not married, they've been in a. I mean,
or been in a long term
yeah.
relationship. Maybe dads. And why this is important, and I'll explain why, is going after someone who is married or at least in a serious relationship, they're really reflecting and doing a lot of inner work. So when I think about fitness, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm going to get in shape for myself. But when you start going, I'm going to get in shape for my partner, or I'm going to get in shape for my kids, or
Super powerful.
it's super powerful because now it's like everyone wants to be a superhero to their kids and everyone wants to be a great husband. And it's like when you start saying those and you start using that terminology, it's super, super powerful. So I like the idea of focusing on married and probably dads as well. And we'll get into exactly why in a little bit. Education, I'd say they probably have gone to university just because like if they're earning 200K plus, typically they would have gone through university. Yeah, cool. Okay, so fitness level, when we think about this person today, are they training at all? Like, are they going to the gym?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say they potentially struggle in the gym, don't follow much of a plan.
Yeah.
Wheel spinning, just not really gaining any success.
Wheels spinning. How many days a week are they training?
Anything upwards of 2.
They're trying to do like 4 to 5, but realistically they get like 2 in.
Yeah, trying for 4 to 5.
I think
Days,
former athletes, people that maybe played sports in high school or
Yeah.
college, and then they just let themselves go. So they have experience training. They just need the kind of the structure and the accountability.
Need structure and accountability. Okay, I like it. And then we've got nutrition, then we've got mindset, and then we've got lifestyle. Okay, when we think about training, are they doing any like running, cardio, sprinting? Do they do any of that? Or are they?
Probably burning out on the old 5K, just giving it full welly. I think that's why everybody hates doing cardio, don't they? It's, they're just knackered by the end of it, not seeing any real progress. It's just no structure to it.
Yeah, no real progress, no structure.
Yeah, they're trying to force cardio. They think they need to do it most times. Like, I got to do cardio. It's why I'm not dropping weight.
They think they can. It's almost like they think they can burn the calories instead
yeah.
of remove it.
So yeah, they try and get on the treadmill 2-3 times a week.
But in reality, don't do it. Or do like a really half-ass
Yeah,
session.
they might get in one. Yeah.
Get in one.
They sometimes will prioritize. They'll skip a lift to get a cardio session in because they feel like it's more important.
Beneficial, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they doing any like classes? Like, do they go to like a group class?
They have in the past.
Like an F45?
F45, berries, purchase.
Fucking murder, say. But haven't succeeded. Cool. Okay. Nutrition wise, like, do they follow a plan? Do they?
I think, with work, that's the juggling act with most people, isn't it? It's sort of fitting in around their busy schedules,
Yeah.
not just eating what's available to them. A lot of takeaway. There's no real structure to it.
Takeaways, no structure.
They have their wife doing a lot of the cooking, so they don't. It's kind of like whatever she makes.
Whatever she makes. I like that way. I like that terminology. My wife does the cooking, so I just eat whatever she serves. Do they know what macros are?
I'd say most people have got a base idea. They're training, trying to get into it, but don't really understand the ins and outs.
Don't really understand it. Have they tracked?
Loosely, given up quickly, I'd say.
Loosely tracked, but never stayed consistent.
Yeah, that's fair. Or they just never have.
Or never given it a go. Maybe they think tracking is only for bodybuilders? Would that be fair to say?
Maybe.
Motivation as well.
I think it's a time thing too. Like I don't have time.
No time to
I got a
track.
job. I got kids.
Yeah, like I got a job.
Tracking's just too
I got kids.
overwhelming.
Tracking is too overwhelming. Okay, and then nutrition. Are they eating out often?
Yeah, it's especially the corporate people. It's lunches,
Corporate
dinners,
lunches.
entertaining.
Dinners, like entertaining clients. Is that fair?
Yeah, entertaining clients exactly. Yeah.
I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. They eat pretty healthy, but it's those events. It's the lunches or the dinners where they go out, have some drinks, kind of a bigger meal.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Mindset wise, like where are they at today in their fitness journey? How are they thinking about it? Are they sort of like, I've peaked, I'm on my way down? Is that like the mentality?
I think just looking for assistance. It's just sort of going back to the spinning wheels thing. They're wanting for change, pretty desperate for change, don't know how to do it. It's busy routines, busy lifestyles. It's just obstacles getting in the way of where they want to be.
Yeah. Mindset, is there anything that they're thinking about? Like, can they do it? Like, are they questioning their ability? Or are they more just like, I don't have time to prioritize this?
No, they know they can do it.
Because they're sort of A players,
They're
right?
usually maybe thinking about themselves before they got a wife, kids. Like I used to be, lean and muscular.
Like back when they're in college sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Lifestyle, are they the type of people, like it's sedentary work, right? Like they're at a desk
Oh, yeah.
all day?
Maybe at a desk or just out and about, doing deals.
Yeah, so like on the move.
Yeah.
Are they going away on weekends? Like how do they feel that? Are these the like, I go to the lake house on the weekend? Is that the vibe? Or is it more like, what do they fill their weekends with outside of work?
I think a lot of these people are quite into their sports and fitness in general. It's just sort of finding the time to get it done and potentially more of the reminiscing of the times they did do it growing up. They lost touch with it.
On the times they used to play sport.
I'd say, yeah, cabins can be a lifestyle. There's like a whole, where I grew up, cabin life. Go away for the weekend, you go on the boat, you fish, you hunt, and then there's a whole golfing community, which is pretty big. People golf on the weekend.
Oh,
Most
yeah,
of the
that's
time
true.
riding in carts, though, maybe having some beers. So it's not the,
Not the healthiest.
no.
Having
But
beers.
walking and golfing is great. I mean, that's, I think, why my dad is 77 and still healthy, because he always walks when he plays golf.
Are they? Do you think their partner, if they're married, is like the fit one in the relationship? Like she's like the yoga Pilates mum?
I mean, I would like to, say so.
Yeah.
The more in shape of the two.
Yeah. More in shape. What about their kids in terms of lifestyle and managing them? Are they like running around them for sport, or is it more they're like disassociating and going playing golf for the weekend?
No, they're present. They're taking kids to, I mean, if they have, that could be the weekend activity right there is just the kids' activities.
Yeah, around sport. So, okay. And take me through like the dream goal of this person. So like let's start with the physique. What do you think their physique wants to look like? Is this like the Kino Body, Christian Bale physique?
It's the general aesthetic, lean, muscular. I guess the classic tone look, you'd probably say.
Yeah. Muscular. Toned. What do you think? Movie star?
Yeah. I think they want to be lean, not, good balance of muscle. not overdone, not bodybuilders, more like a
So not steroids.
like a movie star. I think we emulate the people in the movies.
Yeah, that's
We
fair.
want to kind of look like them, whether it's Rocky and Rocky 4 or
Yeah, I like
even 300 and all those like warrior movies.
And do you think it's like for that physique, is that because they want to look like, be like a strong figure in their family? Like, what do you think's driving that? Because it's not like they're going out to the club to like pick up a whole load of chicks.
Yeah, that's true. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, role model for sure. I think potentially some of these guys as well, they may have lost touch of what they used to have growing up, especially the guys that did play sports, the high level sports. It's getting back in touch with what they would have had.
Yeah, getting back in touch with what they had.
I think there's like a wave of like men trying to find out like what true masculinity is and learning that it's leading your family, leading by example, and that's not just supporting them financially, but like with their life. Like they don't want to be fat and out of shape and have like that as the example.
Yeah. So like being a true provider and protector.
I think it's part of being a man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Like
good.
having a body your wife wants to like have sex with.
Okay, so I think that's interesting. Provider, protector, but then also someone who their wife is attracted to.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, nice. So if we go into like things they say to themselves, what's like some of the self-talk that this person is saying? So like as an example, my wife does the cooking, so I just eat whatever she serves. I got a job, I got kids, I'm busy, I don't have time. I'm past my peak.
Yeah.
I used to be a star athlete.
If I didn't break my leg.
Yeah, the classic. If I didn't get injured.
The Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Coach would have just put me in fourth quarter. We won state, no doubt.
What else? Like,
What do they say to themselves?
yeah, sort of like that self-talk. If you're like, why haven't you got there? Like, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? And then it's like, just busy. I've got kids. Don't
I
have
just don't have the
time.
motivation.
I think a lot of it's actually just probably going past the self-talk. It's actually just neglecting what's happened, the situation they're in, potentially.
So you think they're like? Do you think they're problem aware? I guess is a good question. So like, do you think they know that it's like, fuck, I need to change?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you say so.
Okay. So like, almost like I know I need to change. Do they think that they're eating healthy? Are they sort of saying like, I'm eating all the healthy stuff, but nothing's changing?
Yeah, they're like, I eat pretty healthy.
Yeah, but in reality, they're eating like all this like oil and shit, right?
Yeah, they're just eating too much.
Yeah, I eat pretty healthy.
I think that's the frustrating part. I think they go to the gym, they kind of watch what they're eating, but it's like I'm doing something wrong. 'Cause I don't look like that.
Where do you think they're coming in at just like as a body fat percentage perspective? Like they're not like, these people aren't morbidly obese. They're like
15 to 20.
Yeah, maybe a
15
little
to
more.
20%. Maybe, yeah, I feel like, what are you though? Well, because
Like 8.
you're like 8?
Yeah. I'd say that
Yeah.
most of them are trying to get to 12. That's
Okay.
like a good goal for them.
Trying to get to 12% body fat. Is that like me?
No, you're leaner than that.
Fuck yeah. After Brady's training.
Let's
Um,
go.
Okay, why haven't they got that? Like what? Again, we sort of touched on these things, but like, what are the biggest blockers for these people? So there's like a time commitment,
Yeah, time constraints.
work,
Consistency.
consistency,
They're not locking in for long enough.
knowing what to do, but not doing it.
No structure,
Life gets in the way.
winging it. They just
Yeah,
go in and
structure,
throw weight around.
winging.
No plan.
Yeah,
Not tracking.
not tracking, doing full body workout 6 times a week.
Like a crazy person.
So maybe there's like an intensity piece as well, like a lack of intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say, yeah, I think this is a good one. Lack of intensity. And I'd say that this is the type of person that increases the plan's volume and frequency, aka adding more workouts, then doesn't follow through and reduces intensity. So it's like they're almost like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna train like 6 times a week now, and I'm gonna do like 5 sets on every exercise, and then like they do that for one day, and then like it's just like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lack of intensity. I think also like a maybe overestimation or underestimation of calories on the plate.
Easily done.
It is easily done, boys. As we know, we all like to eat. Okay, solution. So like, what do we provide them as a service? So if we just like take each of these, I think there's a level of like where it gets in the way. So there's obviously like a time efficient piece of like time efficient workouts.
Yeah, I think it's just a core understanding of their routine and ultimately tailoring a plan around that. That's the whole point of the one-to-one service, really. It's sort of, I think, start with foundations. It's a fluid process. You build up from there. Just get the foundations laid first, something that's achievable. You know, we're here for the accountability of it, and just add layers as you go.
So I think biggest one would be like time efficient workouts. So like if we had this person in and we're like, this is the ideal program. It's like if time commitment's low, work gets in the way, probably someone training like 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Foundational progress that needs to be achievable. I guess foundational steps that needs to be achievable.
Yeah, I think the 3 days a week is part of the implementation.
Yeah.
I think that's the main solution is like, how do you actually do it, implement it, and then the accountability. My issue though that I'm running into is mind shift.
Mindset?
Just shifting people's mind into thinking they don't have to work out 5 or 6 days a week. Like getting them to understand you just have to work out 3 and you need to lift properly. Some people come in and they're lifting completely wrong.
Yeah.
Granted, it's something that a trainer gave them. They're not training for strength a lot of the time. The sets and reps that they're doing are just not efficient. So they're wondering why their body isn't changing. And it's because the weight's not changing. They're not getting stronger. They're not tracking their workouts. They're in there 5 or 6 days a week. Like I had one guy that was like, I want to do it, but I just don't trust it. I do not trust 3 days a week. And this meal plan.
You got to be like, bruh, look
like,
at you. You got to be like, look at me.
I know, but that's what I say.
But
you have to test it out. You have to run the experiment yourself. And until you take that leap. So I think it's that. It's not arguing, but trying to convince people that this is the way.
So I want to show you something that's like pretty crazy, right? Like I've coached a load of people and like ChatGPT knows me like fucking inside out.
Oh yeah.
And when I go insights, let me find this. Oh yeah, self-awareness insight. So I asked ChatGPT, and this is a really good thing you guys should do if you use ChatGPT a lot. I said, what is the one thing you can tell me about myself that I may not know about myself? And that's literally what it said. So it's like, you do not primarily operate as a fitness creator, strategist, or even a founder. You operate as a belief engineer. And that piece is like your biggest job as a coach is like you are engineering belief for someone to believe, one, that they're capable, but also that your mechanism is capable of solving their problem.
Yeah.
Belief.
And that's like a huge thing for people. But yeah, I really like that. With the form technique, are you saying like form as in they've just got like fucking shit form, or they're not putting the intensity into the exercise?
Usually the intensity.
Low.
I'm going to add to that though. I think it's you've got to start with the technique before you add the intensity. You know, it's so easy to just shoot off too soon, and you're back to square one before you know it. I think a lot of guys there's a lot of shoddy technique, a lot of heavy lifting, and it's just not going to do you a service.
But our avatar though, they know form. For the avatar though, they know form.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think there's always room for
Well, I think it like,
isn't there?
yeah, like it's an interesting one. I reckon there's always like little cues that they could improve. Because even like you've been like, I would say I'm in reasonable shape, but you're still like, your hands are too close together. So I think there's like cues that are maybe like advanced
100%.
technique add-ons.
Yeah. I guess you're not. Yeah, I was just thinking like you're not having to like baby a beginner, and like
Yeah.
they know more or less like how to work out.
Which I think is good because like you guys are both, and this is like a great avatar to target. You don't want to be working with someone and being like, so this is how you bench press, or like this is how you do your first squat. It's like you want to work with someone who's got that, and then you're like, all right, we're gonna now do like a Bulgarian squat, and they may not have done a Bulgarian squat, or maybe they've done it once before. They've seen someone do it in the gym, but they're familiar with the squatting motion, and they've done lunges before, as opposed to like teaching someone squatting and lunges. Because like that's the person that you'll be able to really help, because that level of step up from like a squat or a lunge to the Bulgarian is like night and day difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I learned today with Brady. Mate, I'm the avatar.
You're my target audience.
One-on-one check-ins, and then I think there's a macros piece. So like tell me about solutions on a macro perspective.
Yeah, how to eat.
Because I think this is interesting, because do you track? You don't track, right?
No, I've been doing it long enough. I think just you listen to your body.
Did you
after a
ever
while.
track?
For about 3 months, and then drawing a big old bulk, and then
You tracked on the vault.
tried on the bulk.
That's hilarious.
I know it's the
That's
wrong
a
way
smart
around,
way
I
to
suppose.
do it, though. You
Yeah,
don't just
yeah,
dirty
yeah.
bulk and eat like a
True.
maniac.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think there's a probably personalized
Lean bulk.
macros and meal plans. Because do you track everything?
Yeah.
Like down to the
Me personally, no. I used to.
okay.
I broke out of that. I stopped obsessing about that. So I do more like flex tracking. I give people a calorie range and not like a perfect number they have to hit,
I like
which
that.
I think is helpful.
And then do you give them macro ranges as well?
I give them protein to hit, and then carbs and fat just kind of in a healthy range.
And a donut.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's the
That's
biggest unlock.
honestly the secret.
Anything you'd add macro wise?
I think protein's your number one first, and then fats after that. That's what I think that's the second most important. Ultimately, carbs is the last one you target. It's more performance related for sure, and I think realistically you want to keep control of your protein and fats ahead of everything. But I'm a big fan for, I think if you're wanting to lock in meal plan is what I would do, more of a structured set meal plan. I'm a huge advocate for the macro plan too, but I think take the pressure off somebody, have an exact plan. It's easy, it's formulated, lock in with it, get the results, and there's no looking back. And then let's say, do what I do. I think just track for a little bit, understand my body now. It's a case of learn, and just you'll adapt as you go.
Yeah, I think you need to give them like a least barrier of entry. Like somebody going from not tracking to like all of a sudden they're tracking all their macros is just too much and can be overwhelming. So calories, protein, just worry about those and kind of that's all you need really.
Yeah.
Don't make it complicated and don't obsess about it.
Every micro detail. All right. Perfect. This is really good. So we're just going to copy this. And this is going to be like the basis for give me a deep insight into this avatar. So what I want to understand is like this specific avatar. We've just pasted everything in. All right. So core identity tension, not a fitness problem. This man does not see himself as unhealthy. He sees himself as temporarily off track. That distinction matters. At his core, he still identifies as a capable, high-status operator. He believes his current body is an administrative issue, not a character flaw. This is why generic motivational content bounces off him. He does not need hype. He needs reinstatement of competence. His real conflict is not with fat loss versus muscle gain. It is who he used to be versus who he has become without consciously choosing the change. I think that's pretty fair. Mm-hmm. The silent identity drift. So he did not quit being disciplined. Discipline was reallocated. He poured it into his career, provision, leadership, responsibility, reputation, and the body became collateral damage, not a priority decision. This creates internal friction because his self-image is still anchored to his former athletic identity. And he remembers training as a release, not a chore. Food as fuel, not logistics. Fitness as identity, not obligation. Now training feels like something he has to fit in, which subconsciously signals loss of status. This is why he overcorrects with cardio, punishment style workouts, and high frequency plans. He is trying to prove something to himself quickly. When progress stalls, it reinforces a quiet fear. Maybe this is just how it is now. I think that's really solid. Why he overdoes cardio and underdoes strength? Cardio gives him immediate emotional relief. Feels productive, hard, and like effort. Strength requires patience, structure, humility, and progressive intent. Cardio lets him avoid confronting the fact that he no longer knows exactly how to train his body for results. He is not lazy, he is out of practice. Because his ego is tied to competence, he avoids asking for help, following simple plans, or committing to fundamentals. Instead, he defaults to intensity without structure, because intensity preserves his self-image as someone who still works hard. This is why he burns out in his 5-kilometer runs, group workout classes, and treadmill sessions that go nowhere. That sounds like the guy you were saying before.
Mm-hmm.
Nutrition is a control issue disguised as time pressure. When he says, I eat pretty healthy, my wife does the cooking, I do not have time to track, what he actually means is, I do not want food to become another domain I have to micromanage. His life is already saturated with decisions, accountability, leadership, and mental load. Tracking feels like adding another performance dashboard. This is why he resists it emotionally and not logically. He also underestimates calories because abundance has normalized excess. Corporate meals, social drinking, client dinners, and travel are framed as unavoidable, so they are mentally exempt from scrutiny. He is not dishonest. He is unconsciously protecting convenience and social belonging. The partner comparison effect. In many cases, his partner is fitter, more consistent, or visibly healthier. This creates a subtle identity imbalance. He is the provider, she is the caretaker of health. He does not resent her fitness, but it quietly reminds him of something he has let slide. This is why he oscillates between bursts of motivation and long plateaus. He wants to lead by example again, not to be the one who's catching up. Masculinity reframed, not rebuilt. This avatar is not searching for alpha bravado. He is searching for earned masculinity, competence, strength, presence, and reliability. He does not want to look impressive. He wants to feel grounded. When he talks about Rocky, leadership, and being a protector, what he's really saying is, I want my body to match my responsibilities again. This is not about ego. It is about alignment. Why he hasn't changed? He already knows enough to get results. What he lacks is a system that represents his time and cognitive load, a structure that removes decision fatigue, accountability that feels collaborative, not infantilizing, permission to start smaller without feeling like he is regressing. He fails because he keeps trying to train like his old self still exists. It does not. And that is not failure. It is a new operating environment. 2 more. What actually unlocks him? The man does not need more information, he needs containment. 3 non-negotiable training days, strength-focused sessions that feel purposeful, not exhausting, nutrition guardrails, not precision tracking, protein and calorie ranges, not exact numbers, a coach who understands performance psychology, not just aesthetics, check-ins that create momentum, not pressure. Once momentum returns, identity follows. When he feels strong again, disciplined again, capable again, compliance becomes automatic. The real win he is chasing. The body is the symbol. What he actually wants to do is walk into a room, into his home, into his life, and feel settled. Not rushed, not behind, not compensating. He wants to look at himself and think, I'm back in control. Not louder, not leaner than everybody, just solid again. This is the lever. Pretty good avatar. I like this. So the reason why we do this is now it's like, give me content, ideas, and pain points to center around my ICP. So like when I think of ICP, so when I think, Brady, for you, when you're doing story call outs, it's like you'd almost be speaking straight to this person. So it's like, as an example, you may go, let's do like, you probably think cardio gives you, it's like cardio always gives you that immediate emotional relief. You probably feel like it's productive, you feel like it's hard, and you feel like it's effort. And you know that strength requires patience, structure, humility, and progressive intent. You feel like that cardio allows you, like you feel like that allows you to avoid confronting the fact that you no longer know exactly how to train for your body. And it's like, that's why I work with men who are prioritizing cardio over their strength. And if they want to unlock real strength, that's sort of where you come in. So like all of these become really strong talking points for stories so that this ICP is like self-identifying with the stories that you're putting up. Because the goal is that this avatar reads it and is like, hey, Brady has perfectly articulated the pain that I am experiencing today. And if they can see the pain in you, or you can articulate it back to them better than they can even say it, that's when they'll buy from you, because they really understand that you understand their problems. So for me, like the content becomes, and I've seen you do this before, Brady, that was really good when you said like to everyone who's training, I think it was like to everyone who's training 10 to 15 reps, train like 6 to 8. And then you gave like the explanation of why, and all of the content that focuses around reducing the amount of volume and giving them an idea of like, you're overworking yourself because you're trying to catch up in all of these other domains. So I think these are really good content points to build around. And I'll show you what we're going to do in terms of building the offer. So we're going to take all of this and then we're going to open up this one. This is like my favorite GPT I've ever made. It's like a custom GPT with all of Alex Hormozi's knowledge. So I basically put in like $100 million offers, leads, money models, and then all of his other core frameworks as well.
You created your own.
Yeah.
What is this? Like
it's called a custom GPT. So you load it with all this like preloaded knowledge, which basically means instead of pulling from like random stuff from the internet, it's going to pull from like a set subset. So like build a offer.
Did Hormozi teach us?
No, I just took all of his stuff. I didn't ask him. Thank you, Hormozi. But it answers in like a very specific way that's like toned to be his voice as well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like as an example, so these are going to be like the core promise. So if you've read like in $100 million offers, Hormozi talks about this value equation, and the value equation, which is really important. I'll show you the value equation, Alex Hormozi. This is like one of my favorite things of all time. So what this is trying to say is like for you to be able to charge high ticket for something, you basically have to charge it value, right? But value is perceived. So like what you see as valuable, for example, you seeing like how to blow up on social media is quite valuable to you, right?
Yep.
But if I tried to sell that to Brady, he's like, oh, I've already blown up on social media. So it's like the same product, but you guys see it very differently, right? Because the value is completely different. So it's important to remember that value is always perceived by the person who's buying. So when I think about a fitness program, we're trying to increase the value. The more you can increase the value, the more you can charge for it. So we think about the dream outcome for our avatar. It's like the dream outcome is that this person feels like confident in, like we had all those things, right? Confident in their own skin. They don't feel like they're like chasing after their wife. They feel competent, back, athletic. They feel strong presence for their family. They're there for their kids. Like they look the part with everything else that they've got going on. Then we think of like perceived likelihood of achievement. Now that's your job as a coach to say, hey, I know exactly where you've been and I can get you there. And the way we increase the perceived likelihood of achievement is either with social proof, by showing them people that look exactly like them, who we've taken them from A to B, with our own transformation. So like saying like, well, this is the living proof that like, for your example, I'm 38. This is the living proof that at 38, you could look like this. Same with you, right? At 30, this is the living proof of what you could look like. Then we have time delay and we have effort and sacrifice. Now, a program is going to be way more valuable if we reduce the bottom two. So if I take an extreme example, if you think about fat loss, think about liposuction, right? It's super expensive. And the reason it's so expensive is when you go in to get liposuction, literally you go in, you tap your card and they suck the fat out of you. And it's like the time delay is pretty much instant, right? Let's call it 6 hours. Effort and sacrifice, yeah, it hurts a bit and it's going to be like painful, but you don't have to train. You don't have to count your calories. You don't have to diet. It's like this insane, it's like Ozempic, right? So then the value of the product goes up massively. And if you think about perceived likelihood of achievement, well, they've given liposuction like all over the world. It's like a super well-known, same with Ozempic, it's a super well-known thing. So then your value goes up massively. Dream outcome remains the same because it's the same outcome, fat loss, whether you have to do like loads and loads of effort and sacrifice to get there. So you can imagine if you have a program and you're like, hey, I'm going to get you in killer shape. I've got all these testimonials, looks just like you, but you need to do like 7 days a week of training. You need to track every single calorie meticulously, and I'm going to put you on 1,000 calories a day. Like, that's not a very valuable program, right? And it's going to take 10 years. It's like, fuck, you've just completely ruined the value.
Yeah.
So I always think about the value, and what's good about this is like dream outcome, feel strong, grounded, and capable again, which is exactly what we want. Likelihood of achievement, high. It's simple rules, few decisions, and it's a coach-led structure. The time delay, it's short. The strength returns fast when the structure's right, 2 to 4 weeks to feel change. And like I'm living testament of a 3-day-a-week program, given like I feel stronger already. And it's low effort and sacrifice. And that's why I love reducing the amount of work someone has to do more than anything. And this is why, particularly when you're talking about doing hybrid, I was like, I would avoid doing that, because the problem with the hybrid workout is you're basically saying to someone, yeah, we're going to like train 4 or 5 times a week. We're going to get you running like 4 times a week as well. We're going to get you doing like extra mobility sessions. And then you're also going to have to like dial in your carbs. You're going to have to learn how to like carb load while you're it's like, holy shit. Like to be at the top of like, to be a top Hyrox athlete, like bro, the effort and sacrifice is humongous. And there's a select few people that want that, but not everyone, not the average corporate, go-getter, mass market, what I call like gen pop.
Sure.
Okay, so tier 1, and then the way that we'll create this is we'll create like an actual pricing card out of it. So it's like create a pricing card from this for me. I'll just let that cook in the background. Cool. So the reclaim base is like for men who need structure, but they don't want oversight. Stop drifting, reclaim base strength and control. 12-week, 3-day strength program, fixed days, fixed exercise, no cardio prescriptions, non-negotiable training structure. They've got nutrition guardrails. They've got a 1-page operating system and a weekly self-check-in. I think we could reduce that from a weekly self-check-in. Anchor the price at like $1,500 to $2,000 for 12 weeks. And what's really key is, because I know on your pricing card, you're charging for like an entire year. I don't think we want to charge anyone for a whole year. We want to keep it around 12 weeks, maximum 4 months.
Because of the time.
Just
the perceived time.
Just the time commitment. Yeah. Yeah. Perceived time delay. Exactly. Because if you're like a year, it's like, fuck, is it going to take a year? And realistically, yes. But I think they can still see significant difference in 90 days to 120 days. And that's fine. Like we can re-sign them, but I would rather you hold them to there and then re-sign them.
Yeah.
Because you could essentially re-sign that client 3-4 times.
True. Yeah, you're right.
So what we're going to create from here, and I'm just going to pull this up and pull one up I made for Sai, and we'll use the same base. Okay. I'm going to make this look prettier in a sec, but let's just bring these down. So we'll bring this down. Okay. What are your current prices stacking at?
Like 2, 3, 4.
That's pretty good.
But this is 3, 6, 12 months, right?
Yeah. I would bring it like, let me just.
The idea is 3 tiers. You kind of sell the middle one. For
Correct.
the most part, right?
Correct.
This is, I mean, if somebody wants to really, I mean, because
some people will come in and get the high tier. That's the thing that I find crazy about this.
Yeah. Well,
that's like, this would be a really good, even, let's just keep it simple. This would be a really good, so I always add, this would be a really good pricing card, like really simple. There's like 1,000 gap in between. If you want to push people to the middle, you just like you just make this one more expensive. So like when you see it like that, you're like, okay, this one's like really a good push. The way I think about this is it's like essentially you're stacking the benefits. So all of them could be 14, or you may make this one like a 16-week program. But you're stacking the benefits here, where this program is pretty much like a weekly self-check-in framework. So this is pretty much self-regulated with like very little of your time as a coach, which is really important. And then the difference here is like, this is when they start to get your time. And I'm only adding like monthly. private calls. And the way I picture it is like, instead of checking calls, private calls just sound for this demographic, like they want like, you know, a private call. Like you're trying to position it around like almost like a, in their business speak, like a conference meeting. And then here you've got like bi-weekly. And why this is important is it's easy to get in the trap of being like, oh, for me to be successful as a coach, I need to meet with this person all the time. And it's like, this avatar does not want more meetings in their calendar. They're already busy. They're already packed out with work. They just want the result and the transformation. And however you can get them there, that doesn't need to require your time. Like proximity doesn't equal results. A system and a framework that they can follow and replicate is what actually equals results. Yep. So I really like the structure where you sort of have what I call like weekly async coaching check-ins, which is where you have some sort of check-in form going out and it's reviewed, but there's no like intervention or we have to meet every single week. And that pushes them here, which is like pretty low delivery time in terms of proximity, but it still gets them the results they want. And then this one here is the legacy tier, which is like going into, all right, this is like, if you want more of my time, I have limited time, a bit like you as a executive, but this is where I can help you and be more hands-on. So I think something like this as a pricing card is like a really good place to start. Next part I want to go into is like DMs and managing DMs. So I think what would be good is, Brady, do you want to go through your DMs with like people that are inbounding for coaching, and then we can do like a DM framework, because we're going to keep it really simple from like a funnel perspective. So I'll just create a whiteboard. Because this is where we're just going to go. Get rid of this. Yeah, great. So like literally the idea is Instagram posts, goes into story views, story CTAs, which goes into conversations, which goes into booked calls. We'll go like DM setting, struggle plus goal. Which goes into booked sales calls, which goes into closed calls. Pretty much goes into closed calls, which goes into clients. So like in a very, very simple sense, it's like we post on Instagram to get traffic to our Instagram. We post story CTAs, which are like call to actions to drive conversations. The more conversations we get, we take them through a setting framework, which is like, what's their struggle? What's their goal? And then we book them in for a call, and then we close as many of those calls as possible to become clients. So it's like a really, really basic step-by-step framework. Obviously, the hardest part here is probably how do we drive people to have conversations, and then how do we drive people who are in the DMs. So like, do you want to give an example of one that you've got?
Yeah. Do you need to know the story CTA?
No, that's okay. Is this one
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
This is a dad bod.
Perfect. I'm looking for one.
So it started with like 5 and then
Slowly went down.
Yeah.
Yes. Eating healthy. Hit the gym but not seeing the roads. Eating healthy but can't seem to job. Don't know what ideal workouts is. Eating randomly, snacking too much. If you're ready to finally break through or you get rid of, this is the time. That's me dad bod. Cool. Hi Lucas, thanks for how long have the dad bod for this? How long you have the dad bod for this, or this more prevention? 50-year-old. Oh yeah, so he's like perfect ICP. Look, well, a little bit older, but former Division 1 wrestler, like used to have dad bod. I'm a physician medical director of 3 hospitals. Okay, so he's like he's loaded. Thanks for sharing, respect the discipline, love your goals. So like, yeah, that's fine. 21, I'm single. Okay, got it. Okay, so I think this is like a little bit abrupt, where it's like, you see how it's like, how many kids you got, by the way? It's like 21, I'm single, I'm super close. And there's like, let's go. You interested in one-on-one coaching? It's a bit like, I would say, when they share something about this, I'm single and my 13-year-old lives with my ex who remains a dear friend. I left a tough situation 2 years ago and this is my glop. Like, I would be more like, you can imagine someone's like sitting opposite you and they just told you like, he's single, he had like a tough situation 2 years ago. Now he's like going into his glow up. He's really close with his children. You're like, haha, let's go. Like it would be a weird, like if you were sitting opposite this person at a coffee table, you would want to be like completely hear you, man. Like that sounds like a rough situation, but so happy that you're still close with your girls. What are their names? Like you're going to start like opening up that person a little bit more than if you go like, let's go. You're interested in one-on-one coaching. So
I think if this was me or a VA, honestly.
I think it's a VA because of that story, potentially. But that's where it's like, anyway, this avatar seems interested. So it's like, yes, sir, I love swimming, zone 2 stuff, retired from 23. And then it's like, you see how it's like, okay, awesome. Can I add you to a group chat with my team so I can discuss program? Like for me, this is like way too direct. I would have been like validating a lot more of what they're saying because this is like a great conversation, but it needs way more validation of like understanding like, oh, you're close with your girls. That's awesome. Are they into fitness as well? But like, oh no, like they don't train. Or yeah, they do train. And then it's like, oh, okay. Like, what does your glow up mean to you? And he's like, oh, my glow up means that I'm going to look this way and like, I'm going to be proud of the man who stands in the mirror. It's like, man, that sounds like a real glow up. Like how proud are your girls going to be when you stand in the mirror and look like that and are proud of yourself? So it's like you really want to dig a little bit deeper on the struggle and the goal, because the more you can understand about this person before you jump on a call, like the easier it's going to be to close them. And I think that's the hard part. Something in the DMs is sometimes we get excited and want to chat to like loads of people at once, but it's like this could be like amazing avatar to go through with.
Yeah.
So did this person end up jumping on, or what happened?
No, because
I'm just gonna film this.
he didn't. He wanted to talk to me, like on a call, and I was just trying to get him on with my sales, with my closer.
I
Like,
mean,
this was the whole him was just get him in a group chat, and then in the group chat we kind of learned more about him, get him on a call. So that's kind of why it was pushed, kind of at the beginning.
so I think like I would say with this avatar, if someone's told me, as an example, like for me as a business coach now, if someone told me like, or I knew that this DM was going on and someone's like perfect ICP, has money, like is ready to crush their goals, I think you have to sometimes step in. Ultimately, like you've got to do what's the most revenue generating activity at that moment in time. Now, while that's not answering all your DMs yourself, when you know there's someone like this on the line, I would jump on a call with them for sure. Because like, even if you've got a closer, if they're already showing like sales resistance and being like, oh, I don't want to talk to, I want to talk to you. I'd be like, hey, look, man, I don't normally do this, but I'm happy to do this for you. Let's jump on a quick call. Let's understand like what it would look like working together. And if you're a good fit, let's move forward. And like in that place and time, it's like, put your hand up, jump on that call, because like one, you now don't have to give 10% to your sales team, but two, like potentially you could close this person for, $3,000-$4,000. So it would be like a worthwhile activity if I think about what's highest leverage.
Yeah.
This is a good example of like a perfect ICP that's coming through. So like you have the people in there.
Because I think I did go to group chat and maybe he did talk to the closer, and then he was he didn't want to like sign up because he hadn't seen the program. It was like sight unseen.
So that's where you've got like a very rational and logical bias. So people are sometimes, most people buy on emotion and they rationalize with logic. So what that tells me is actually I haven't seen you, Brady, and I don't want to buy something from someone that's completely anonymous and someone's selling on behalf of them. But he rationalizes that logically by saying, oh, I haven't seen the program, like I don't want to buy it yet. So I think sometimes people will like deflect things that they're feeling emotionally by something logical and rational, particularly this type of person who's like A-type performer, like clearly medical director, very switched on.
Yeah.
But I'd say these are like great opportunities. I think the biggest lift for you is getting a really good DM setter or rolling up your sleeves and just being like, fuck it, like I'm gonna do the DMs myself and like grind through some DMs because it's actually really high return. Like if you spoke to 10 of these people a day, it's like if that progressed to like 2 or 3 sales calls a day and you're closing at like these amounts, that's like a really, really good return on your money. And I do think I am a big believer that doing the groundwork yourself, like I used to handle my own DMs and then I outsourced it and trained someone up to do it. And I think finding good talent is hard if you haven't at least done the role yourself to a point where you're like, okay, I can now delegate this.
So you'd spend just hours a day in your DMs.
Like an hour a day, yeah.
More, well, dude, I would spend like 4, like a whole morning would just be DMs, and then especially because you're like the back and forth is crazy.
The back
Tell me
and
more
forth
about
is
that.
crazy.
Like you're learning about their fan. Like it's
But I would,
it's so much.
it is a lot, but I would like tag them. So I use a tagging system. So these are like preset tags, but let's just call like this one a lead. It doesn't notify them. So like,
No, I know. I've used the lead. Like
Yeah.
you could filter through my leads and see all the leads.
yeah. So then we can go in here. This one.
They're all in primary where leads are.
Yeah, let's just go into there. Yeah, so then you've got all your leads in here. So they're tagged by
Well,
these
all
going
these
through.
recent ones are school group.
Yeah,
Or
so,
that person was, but then they
so these are awesome. So really good example where Brady used to have a high ticket. Now he's gone to low ticket because he's got the volume. But my recommendation to you is on the school group. Everyone that signs up, you should do an onboarding call with, which I know is work. But the onboarding call for 30 minutes is saying, hey, congratulations, you're inside. I wanted to know that I've hand selected you and you've actually qualified to work with me one-on-one. I don't offer this to anyone. I don't offer it to anyone who's outside of my school group. And I'm only offering it to you because I can see that I can actually really help you of where you want to get to. And you break down on that call, like why they joined the school group. So the first thing you want to ask them is like, cool, tell me about the past. Like, why are we here today? What are you trying to solve? How long have you been trying to get in shape? What's going on? Current, which is like, what's not working today? Like, why haven't you solved it yourself? Future, where do you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Cost of inaction, like if you don't get there, what's going to happen? And then offer that like one-on-one. Because if you upsold just like 1 in 10 people, like you've added a lot for the month. You know what I mean? Like there's 100 people in there. That could be 10 clients on these packages. So it's like you put a 0 next to these numbers, even on the lowest package, that's 20 grand.
yeah.
Like I'd say like, I would definitely, because they're going to be excited. People are most motivated when they first buy something, even at low ticket. So like when someone pays, how much for the school group?
$20 right now.
When someone pays $20, like they've been motivated to take action. So they're the most excited when they first buy that like entry into that school group. And if you have a call with them there and say like, great, like this is like the first step, but like if you really want to solve this problem, you need to work like one-on-one. Like everybody, like you almost say to them, you're like, bro, everybody knows that like just taking like a off-the-shelf program, which is what's in the school group, you know, it's $20. It's not really going to solve it. Like you need a personalized program, you need accountability. If it was information alone, you would have already solved it. Like, you know, you've got access to ChatGPT, you can access all the stuff on YouTube, like all the information's out there. If you really want to solve it, I think deep down you know that you need the accountability of someone working one-on-one with you. And that's where you pitch these.
Yeah. Yeah, I
know
think
what
you
I mean?
really have to get at the pain point because otherwise it's like, well, I'm going to get this workout meal plan and you're already talking to me. And this is $20. So why, like, you got to explain that, like, what am I getting with one-on-one coaching really? Because it sounds like you're communicating with me in the school group. Sounds like you're keeping me accountable. There's other members here holding me accountable. Like there's a community aspect. So
It's like the way I describe it, it's like if you want to be an elite runner, do you go to a run club?
well,
Probably not, right? No. There's a community, there's people holding each other accountable. You could learn a bit about running, 100%. And this community, you're going to learn about runners. And there's going to be some great runners in here. But if you want to become an elite runner, if you want to get to the best of your game, you really think that's going to happen at a run club? Pretty good analogy, yeah?
yeah.
Straight off the dome. So I think next step on Brady's side, I'd want to set up some calls and I want to do them with you. Like one thing about selling, you never sell with 2 people on a call because it makes people feel like cornered and intimidated. But I want to be in the room when
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, that'd be funny. We could be like before and after. I'll be like the testimonial for you. Like this guy changed with the way I train. But the next step for Brady, I'd want to take some of these calls. Like I want to reach out into the community and see how many people we can get on a call. And if we can just sell one person on this program, I'll be happy. But I guarantee we'll be able to sell more as a first step. And what's really key about this, none of this cooks your calendar. Because I don't want you telling me, hey man, like we sold that legacy tier package, but now I'm locked in for 12 months and I've got weekly calls and like this guy's, hanging out my ass for the rest of my life.
That's the thing.
But that's the way the package is designed, that ain't going to happen. Like at max, you've got bi-weekly for 3 months, which is 6 calls. I think you can do that.
Bi-weekly, that's for a year though, isn't it?
Nah, 12 months.
Oh, these are all 12 months.
All 12 months.
Oh, wait.
Oh, 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
Oh, okay.
All 12 weeks.
Oh, I thought you were building out 3, 6, 12.
No.
There's all 12-week programs.
All 12-week programs. I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay.
So that will be the test. And if we can get just 1 or 2 people, it will be worth our time. Because all of a sudden you get 1 or 2 people on that, that's like 8K. And then we start building from there. We'll do it together. We'll crush it. On your side, most important thing, which I'll send to you, is going through the avatar deep dive. And you've got to get in this person's head whenever you're creating content. And I want you to really think about this person and be like, okay, this is what they are going through. This is the content that I'm creating to attract this specific avatar.
Yep.
I would rather you do that and you land on 5,000 followers of your exact avatar than 50,000 followers of people who are just fans of you living in Bondi.
100%. Yeah, agree with that.
Cool. Questions?
Concerns?
Concerns?
I think we just got to put it into action now. That's sort of
That
speaks
is-
louder than words, doesn't it? Really.
That is the most important step. I would say with the content, Brady can vouch for me on this as well. Consistency is the most important thing, but it's also like getting clear on your avatar and who you head on to. And I think this is going to be really useful because it will at least give you some guidelines for the ideas. And then you just need to think about the way that you communicate that. And you may communicate it visually, you may communicate it verbally, you may communicate it through written. I don't really mind the format. It's not as important as you think. The most important part is that the idea is spot on for the ICP.
Yeah.
And we've got some sales calls to do. It'll be fun.
I thought I was
You're
trying to
gonna
get out
love
of
it.
sales calls.
No, you're gonna love it by the
Going
end.
back in?
You have to go back in to master it. My concern is you haven't mastered the DMs, you haven't mastered sales calls, and you've tried to outsource too early, and now you're getting annoyed because other people aren't doing it, but you don't have the expertise to critique how they're doing it. And that's a dangerous position to be in because then you've got other people who are doing it on behalf of you without like overseeing it in a way where you can be like, hey, you're doing it wrong. And I think that's why I'm with Daniel, the closer. Because like that, and that's where you get in this halfway house of you're like half reliant on someone to run your business, half not. I want to make you self-sufficient and then we can delegate, but it's delegation, not dependence.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Gotta
I agree.
walk before we run.
Yeah.
Gotta walk
I
before we
tried
sprint.
to skip some steps there.
It's fair, but I'm happy. But I'm excited to go through it because I went through a thing of fucking hating sales calls. Literally, they were like the things, and now I sort of enjoy them. There's something enjoyable about it, and I would love to give that skill to you and give that enjoyment to you over time. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's a good feeling once it does.
Yeah.
The Belief Engineer is back. Thank you so much for tuning in, team. I will follow. I believe that we will win. You'll get to follow along. Brady's coming to Gold Coast, and then we're in Montana together. So we're just like tied by the hip, just training 3 days a week. We've got given ourselves so much time for additional sales calls. That's actually why he trains 3 days a week, just so he's got more time for sales calls.
Right.
Ed, you shout out the handle. He's literally, this is early days. So you've got to hold him accountable by going and giving him a follow and say, where's your post today? Every single day.
That's it.
What's the
It's one of
handle?
the guys.
What's the handle?
Shred with Ed.
Shred with Ed.
See you there.
The guy's an absolute beast. All right, done.